Yes, sir, it's your man Makell Bird, Maktown TV, the dopest show in every dimension, and some more crazy shit happening in the world of hip-hop. It seems like the Migos, who were signed to the record label QC, which stands for Quality Control, and is ran by two men, but one of them being here, QC, MCO, QCP. Now, let's go through this real quick. The hip-hop trio says it was cheated out of millions of dollars through excessive commissions and bad deals. So for those that don't know what's going on, it seems like the Migos have what we call a conflict of interest. Now, the Migos have a lawyer, and of course that lawyer was provided to them by their label, QC, Quality Control. And so this lawyer represents not only the Migos, but the label itself, and now we have a conflict of interest. So I guess the Migos are suing both their lawyer and possibly their record label. And this guy, P, CEO P, who is one of the top two guys running the QC label, has heard about this, of course, and he has gotten on Instagram to talk about it, which I think is strange that, you know, these people, they do this shit where, you know, they want to file lawsuits and then immediately get on the internet to tell everybody about it. I mean, whatever happened to, you know, people sort of keeping things hush-hush, especially when it has something to do with lawsuit. But I digress. Now, let's go through this, shall we? Here's what CEO P had to say. He says, "It is unfortunate that the same people that we have worked hard for, provided opportunities for, and championed for are now alleging that we have participated in any kind of immoral or unfair business practices or took advantage of them and their careers, especially while we are dealing with the death of an artist on our label that was dear to us." And of course, let me pause for a second. They are talking about Marlo, the rapper named Marlo, who was the other rapper, Lil Baby's like right-hand man, okay? Let me see here. Let me get back. That was dear to us. We have always practiced honest business and complete transparency from the beginning when we started Quality Control Music. We built this business on family values, which has been so hard to do when you are dealing with so much pride and ego. The problem that I have been struggling with in this business as a black man is jealousy, hate, division, and a lack of communication. I was a millionaire before I got in the music business, and for me to know the sacrifices I have made for the people that I have invested in and put every dollar, blood, sweat, and tears into is nonsense. I will not stand by and let Quality Control Music's reputation and everything we have built and sacrificed for be tarnished by allegations of unfair and unjust business practices. I am a student of this game, and I have watched several black record label owners get destroyed by the same things that I am facing right now. This is why a majority of the people in this business end up in financial turmoil and ultimately failing to reach their full potential. It is hard enough to be fighting and battling with corporations and the powers that be. I am not doing it with those who I consider family. I love my artists and I love my team. Everyone has their own lawyers. I understand in this business that you are not always going to end with the people you started with. I say that to say this. I am not forcing anybody to be in business with us that has a problem with us and cannot communicate and does not want to work as a unit. Everything is negotiable. I wish my whole team more money, more blessings, and continued success. Long live Marlo. Hashtag that. Now, This is really fucking tricky. You know, we're done with the reading portion. This is really fucking tricky, but for those that don't know, obviously Marlo was Lil Baby's right-hand man. He's a part of the QC label as well. They're all working together, but for those that don't know, let me show you this other thing right here, because this happened not that long ago. Video footage is finally, let me get this. Video footage is finally released, and it shows the beatdown that Lil Baby's 4PF goons gave Offset, one-third of the Migos, for his $50,000 dice game loss to 42 Doug, who is signed to Lil Baby 4PF label. This situation is so crazy because Offset is signed to Quality Control Music, which is the same label that Lil Baby signed to. So what we have here, and I'm going to go back to this, what we have here is a whole bunch of dudes who are all signed to the same label, who all got egos and money and pride at the helm, and they're all fucking fighting. It's one crew versus another, and the Migos have a long-standing history of the three of them teaming up together to jump other rappers in the music business. But when they tried that shit with Lil Baby and his goons, his crew, 4PF, they whooped Offset's ass, okay? That happened, whether Offset likes it or not, and I'm pretty sure that Offset's pride and ego, it took a turn for the worse, so to speak, and he felt like he had to get back. So let me say this. He had to get back. Let me say this. Don't be surprised, and of course this is completely speculation on my part, but don't be surprised. I'm warning you that if it turns out that Marlo dying had something to do with Offset getting his ass whooped by Lil Baby and everybody else up at 4PF in the 4PF crew. This shit happens all the time. We saw what happened with Bankroll Fresh, his own fucking cousin. No plug. Ended up having to kill his ass because Bankroll Fresh went crazy and started shooting shit up with assault rifles, and then boom, his cousin shot him, which honestly I can't blame him. But while we're here, let me go ahead and point out some of these funny ass comments that people are posting about the situation, because I like to give everybody else a little bit of love too. Now this is from Blame Clayco, which is a guy who I actually know, so it was actually interesting seeing him in the comments. He's a producer out of Riverdale, Georgia. He loves Miami bass. He's a big part of that scene. And he says, how come Clive Davis don't have these issues? Nobody ever challenges that side. Interesting. Hashtag double standard. And I'm like, yeah, there is some double standards, but then again, I highly doubt that the fucking Migos actually read their contract. I mean, come on, man. Them motherfuckers don't know how to read. No. Now, let me see the other ones that I starred just because they were hilarious. This dude said, Brian_BME said, they salty Lil Baby running shit. You know what? I kind of agree with that, if I'm being totally honest with you, because it's like Lil Baby is one person. Even though he has his own crew, he's sort of representing himself as one person, and yet he's doing the same type of numbers that Migos are doing with three of them together. So it's kind of weird when you think about it. And then this dude, D.ADK, says, what cheated them out millions is them weak-ass Nickelodeon songs they're dropping. And then this one, I'm going to end with this one, the_chosen_1_485, which, by the way, babe, you're doing way too much with that fucking screen name, all right? Ain't nobody going to remember all that shit. Ain't nobody following your ass. But she made me laugh, too, because she said, y'all was just throwing millions at the strippers. What happened? Of course, that's fucking hilarious because they had this whole thing about the stripper bowl. If I'm not mistaken, I think it happened last Christmas, 2019. But, they had this thing called the stripper bowl. Or no, it was during the Super Bowl or whatever. Where they're just throwing fucking $1 million at a bunch of strippers. I'm like, now y'all are talking about you're broke and you feel cheated out of millions? What about the millions you gave the strippers? Maybe you wouldn't be so fucking broke if your trick ass, your sucker ass, your simp ass, your sugar daddy ass wasn't at these fucking strip clubs, tipping a bunch of strippers who more than likely you're not even fucking. I mean, these strippers got more sense than you do. You know what I'm saying? Y'all don't read the Migos. Y'all don't read your fucking contracts. You're throwing money at strippers like a bunch of dumbass simps. And you know what? Karma's a bitch. That train has finally come around to the station, if you know what I mean. But that's that, people. Makell Bird, Maktown TV, the dopest show in every dimension. And I'm out. Peace.